Well, hello everyone. So I am Christy from Adventures in iSTEM. I'm a middle school science teacher with over 20 years experience in the classroom. And I've been flipping my classroom for about 10 years now. Oops. All right. So sorry about that. So now here's the thing. I love the benefits of flipped classroom, but there is one tool that is almost essential to have if you plan on flipping your class. And this tool is going to make your life so much easier for students to watch your video. You're going to understand if they watch the video and get that feedback you need and your students need to see how prepared they are when they come into your class. And the tool I'm talking about is Edpuzzle. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So Edpuzzle is like the essential tool that you need to have if you plan on flipping your class. Now, could you get away without using it? Absolutely, yes. You could host your videos on YouTube. You could host your videos on Google Slides, and that's fine, and you'll get some feedback, but not the type of feedback you would get if you used Edpuzzle. Now, I'm all about making sure students engage with the video. My students have to take notes when they're watching the video. And in class the next day, I'm going to be checking those notes. And that does show me that they watched the video and they got some information. But with Edpuzzle, I can take that knowledge to the next level. So the Edpuzzle allows me to crop videos. It allows me to check for understanding. It allows me to add comments to the video. And my favorite part, it gives me the analytics, the data that I can then use in preparation for the next day's class. So cropping videos. You're allowed to trim your videos, the beginning and the end. So if you find, let's say on YouTube, a video and it's great, but it's a 20-minute long video and you only want a small segment of it, you can use that video and then trim it so that you only have to share and you only show students 5 minutes of that 20-minute video, right? We don't want videos that are longer than 7 minutes. After about 7 minutes, you start to lose the students. So if we want students really engaging with the videos, if we want them really to understand that information, then we want to be able to crop the videos. Here's the thing. You could take a 20-minute video and crop it 2 or 3 times, right? So that way you take that one video and you divide it up into 3 different videos for the students to watch. So they're not getting all that information at one time. You could also add checks for understanding, and you can do this with multiple choice questions or open-ended. Now, I prefer multiple choice because it is going to give students feedback right away. They will be able to see if they understood that segment of the video or if they didn't, because it's going to tell them what answer they chose, and it's going to show a green if they get the answer correct, and it's going to show red if they got the answer incorrect. Now, you can also on these choose multiple choices. So you could have more than one answer. So they can see, oh, I got 2 of these, but I missed this one. So the students can quickly see what parts they got correct, how many they got correct, and you can see that also. On open-ended, you're going to have to go in and actually then look at their choices, which is great if you want to have them write a summary at the end for you, or have them tell you like the 2 key points from the video, the 2 main ideas, or even just the 1 main idea. Like what's this video all about? Right? You can go in to see, do they really get the big picture? Do they understand what the important concepts were from the video? So you can use that and check to see if they got that information correct. You can also have them put, what is one question you still want to know? Or what is one question you need clarifying? So that way you have a list of all these questions before the students come in. What do they still want to know about this topic? Or what do they still find confusing and they need some more help or clarification on? You can also add comments. I like to do this, especially in the very, first half of the year when my students are watching the video. I like to stop at about every 45 seconds to about a minute. I'll stop it and I'll say, okay, stop. What was that segment about? What were some key parts of that segment? So I'm adding comments. There's no questions here. I'm just adding a comment saying, hey, this is a great time to stop, pause, reflect on what the video is about, and write some information down. I find that especially doing that in the beginning when you're teaching the students how to take notes from a video, how to interact with the video, that it's really important to point out a good stopping place for the students where they can then, reflect and take notes. Or they can rewatch that segment and say, okay, rewatch it again, and let's this time, write down some key information. So you're guiding the students. And I like to do that in the very beginning. And then I'll do less guiding as we get more comfortable, because by the end of the year, I want my students to be able to determine when should they stop and take their notes, right? I want them to be able to determine that. But in the beginning, I'm guiding them. Remember, we had to remember, a lot of students do not know how to take notes from a video. Now, they're used to watching videos, absolutely. They watch videos all the time on YouTube, and they watch videos on Netflix. But there's a difference between watching a video for enjoyment and watching a video for actual learning, where you're going to stop and you're going to take notes, or you're going to practice and apply something. You have to teach the students how to do that, right? Because they are great at watching a video for entertainment, but they need to be shown and taught how to watch the video for actual learning, for taking notes. The best part, again, about Edpuzzle is the analytics you're going to get. And it's really important in a flipped classroom. It's really important to know when the students come in, what did they understand? Where are they struggling? Where are they having confusion? Where are they ready to move on? They're ready to go beyond. Which students really are having a hard time, and which students then are ready to start applying and practicing, right? It helps your classroom flow better, right? So here is some analytics. One, you're going to be able to see who watched the videos, and not just watch the whole thing, like who watched, how much of it did they watch? So you're going to get a printout. You'll get, on the screen, you can choose the video, and it will show you all your students, and it will show you who watched the video, who did not watch the video, and what percent of the video did they watch? Did they watch the full 100%? Did they watch only 50%? And it's also going to tell you their overall grade they got if you give them the check for understanding questions. It will also show you how many times they watch each segment. So if you click on an individual student's name, you can see for each segment, and look at how many segments I have for this one video. Yes, I break it up a lot, right? But it will show you, okay, for each segment, how many times do they have to watch that? Did they watch it one time? Did they watch it twice? Did they watch it 3 times? Like, how many times? Or did they have to watch it 5? Now, if I see a segment where many students are watching it like 5 times, I know that there's something going on in that segment that is confusing, that is difficult. And perhaps I need to check that with the students and clarify some information, right? I also like to teach my students to watch each segment twice in the beginning. In the beginning, when I'm teaching how to do the flipped lesson and how to watch a video and take notes, I prefer that they watch each segment twice. And I teach them that the first time they're watching it, they're just watching and listening. That's all they're doing. They're observing the video. They're listening to what's being said. They're watching the animations, right? Then when it stops and pauses them, I have them go back, and now they're watching it, but they're going to pause and take notes. So I want my students to actually watch it twice, once just to listen and observe and absorb the information, and then the second time to then watch it again, and this time take notes. It's just like reading, right? I know that you do for reading, like for English, you would want them to read sometimes like a text that's difficult. You want them to read through once, just to get the words, the flow, and then you read through a second time, but now you're diving into it, right? You're interacting with it. Well, same thing with here. Watching the video segment once, just to observe, then you watch it a second time and you're engaging and diving into it. It also tells you how many questions they got correct. So it'll show you green if the students get that answer correct, and it will show you red for all the questions where they didn't score like 100%. They didn't get all of it correct. So you can go in to see, okay, am I seeing lots of green? Am I seeing lots of red? You know, is the student really, are they just going through the video and just answering whatever they want just to try and get through it? Or are they really not understanding it? So you can take that information and you can then ask them questions about it the next day, or you can offer a different assessment afterwards. So I will look at Edpuzzle information, and then I'm going to look at their quiz that they always take after the video. If I see that they're missing a lot of questions on Edpuzzle and they're missing a lot of questions on the quiz, now I know that student is struggling and I need to support them more, right? But if I see that they missed a lot of questions on Edpuzzle, but on the quiz, they got them correct, then I can see, okay, they were struggling then. They probably rewatched the video or found, did some other research to get their information. And by the time they took the quiz, they got it, they understood. So I don't need to go back and help that student. They have already done what they need to learn that information and get the clarification support they needed. And you can also look at, as a class, which questions need clarification. So instead of choosing student, you can choose questions. And it's going to show you all the questions that you put into that video. And it's going to show you, okay, yellow means that, about half the students got it, half didn't. So you might want to look at those questions to see, okay, is this something I need to then talk about in the next day in class? Is this something I need to clarify? If it's a lot of red, then yes, definitely I would sit there and be like, okay, I need to go over this question and talk about how to answer it and explain that one a little more. If I see lots of green, then I know, okay, majority of the students got that topic. So again, it's giving you the analytics. It's seeing which questions, which ideas and concepts need more clarification, and which ones then you're ready to go. Best thing about Edpuzzle is that it integrates with many of your LMS formats. It works really well with Google Classroom, right? In fact, you can import your class from Google Classroom. So that's right. You make your class in Google Classroom and you just import it. Students don't need to sign up for Edpuzzle. Nope. Once they've signed into your Google Classroom, they're already added to Edpuzzle. You just import them. It's ready to go. You can share the link to the video. You can just tell the students to go to Edpuzzle and then they just sign in with Google and they go right to the one they needed. Or you can share the actual assignment through Google Classroom. So there's multiple ways you can do it. It also integrates with Canvas, Schoology, PowerSchool, Moodle, Blackboard. So again, it hits a lot of LMSs and makes it very easy for you to share this with the students, the video that you want them to watch. So this is why, again, I love Edpuzzle and feel that if you really want to be successful in the flipped classroom, you definitely need to have some way of gathering analytics, gathering information, feedback on, number one, are the students watching the video? And number two, are they getting the information? Are they understanding the information? Edpuzzle does that for you. So this one, it's one of the things, it's like, it's my go-to and I highly recommend it. If you want more information about the flipped classroom model, you want to get started with it, you're curious about the advantages, the benefits, but also you want some help on like, what if the students won't watch the video? I've got you covered. I've created this flipped classroom guide. So go ahead, you'll find the link of it in the comments or in the description. Go ahead and find that. And I will see you guys later.